Hello Aries, welcome back to Path of Enlightenment Tarot. For those of you returning to the channel, welcome back. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm Nicole. Aries, this is going to be your September 2025 read. I know it's been a minute since I got something out to you all, so thank you for your patience as always. Thank you to everybody who's liked, shared, subscribed, commented, booked personal reads, made donations to the channel, became channel members as well, so thank you for all of that. If you are interested in booking a personal read, that information can be found in the description box below, as well as the link to channel memberships. So with that being said, Aries, Spirit just kind of advised me to take a different approach with you in the month of September. So that's what we're gonna do, right? That's the way we roll around here. So with that, let's see what is going on for you in the month of September. I feel like, as I say to you, Spirit, told me to take a different approach with you. You could be taking different approaches to things, or kind of like Spirit is saying, rewrapping the way you see things or the way you're doing things. Clouds Mystical comes out. This deck is quite interesting. It's like a divination deck, but I kind of feel like nature. There's something about nature. There's something about sunshine. It's also like looking at scars. These could be physical scars, Aries. I don't know why. I don't know if it's almost like a nostalgic kind of feel if it is a physical thing. Going, I remember when I got that, or you may be talking about that for some reason. I'm not real sure why that's there or why that's coming up, but for somebody that's going to resonate, I'm sure. But this is also like peeling back the layers of deeper meanings to life, especially if you're a masculine energy more so. It's kind of uncovering where patterns or traditions began, why you see things that way. It's almost like there's an air of mystery around you that you're trying to understand. And pardon, the dog is back in the background chewing her breakfast. Apparently she's hungry today. But it's something here, Aries, throughout this month is going to kind of connect, it's like they're connecting some dots around the whys and the hows. It's almost like you may not see the full picture, but you're starting to understand it. If there's a need to dig deeper, go deeper within, understand parts of your, this is really much self-focused right now, Aries, the way this comes in for you. I don't know, it's interesting. It's an interesting way of viewing the world, or starting to see the world differently. Fall could be your time of the year. You may also like that. There's something here about the leaves falling, depending on where you are in the world, but it's almost like as all of those, it's Spirit. They're giving me something here. Hang on tight for a minute. It's metaphorical. Thank you, Spirit. Jeez Louise. In like when you watch the leaves fall from the trees and we think about the seasons of the year, yes, fall could be maybe, a time that you enjoy. It's a little cooler or whatnot, again, depending on where you are in the world. But it's also about what it signifies to us as human beings. Like, think about spring, there's growth, there's renewal. We're kind of coming out of hibernation in a sense, depending on where you are. And then fall, it's like everything starts to fall away, or you start to see things, the landscape becomes barren and you can see further, without leaves on the trees and whatnot. And I feel like part of that for you, that's what this is about, is you starting to let old stories, old ideas, old belief systems kind of fall away. For some of you, maybe you thought about never, if you've been married before and you had a bad experience, as most people, I don't say most people, but a lot of people have had, it could be like, I don't ever want to do that again. And, but seeing it through a different lens, if it can lean into a positive aspect. So I hope that's making sense for you, the way I'm explaining that. But I feel like with these eclipses that are happening next week, which is the 7th, we've got, well, that's what the end of this week, actually. Holy smokes. It's coming up quick. That's a lot of clearing. It's a lot of purging. It's a lot of awareness that comes in for you. So Aries, what else for Aries? Overriding energy in the month of September, what they need to know. Progressions, journey, attention. This could be an internal fight with yourself, Spirit said. You have an 11 and a 9 here, so 119 could be important. 10, invitation. This is an invitation for you to step into your, Spirit's saying soul propriety, but it's more so soul purpose, this tension in this journey. Some of you could be having I don't want to say a hard time breaking patterns or habits per se, but it's kind of like worlds collide with that card, with that tension card. You can see these two birds, right? Like they're running into each other. There's a lot of like, you know, I'm gonna call it chest bumping. Sounds weird. Where you think about like if somebody kind of comes at you with their chest out and they're kind of like, you know, I don't know what it is with the masculine energy here today for you guys, but it's coming up very heavily. Like it's almost like a ego thing or a pride thing, maybe kind of getting in the way of something. Again, I feel like this is an internal thing. Like if I do this thing, does that make me weak, right? It's like I could use the example of like, you know, back in the day, if men cried, they were seen as weak kind of thing. It doesn't make you weak. So it's almost like this internal battle back and forth of how you feel about things, and you feel yourself moving forward, but yet there's a bumping of like an internal ego kind of thing that's going on. But you're being invited. It's almost like you're starting to strip away an old identity. There's Pluto in 7th house of relationships. This could even be, you got 3 9s here. For those of you that may not know, 3 9s. 9, this is a year of 9 numerologically. 2025 breaks down to a 9. 9s are about endings and completions, and that invitation card is a 10. So that's 0 and 1. It's a new beginning. It's a new time. It's a new era. It's a new chapter. These eclipse seasons are marking that for all signs, not just you, Aries, but this idea of putting some things to bed for good. It's really coming to the surface at this time for you. Okay, so just do be aware of that. So if you're feeling any like confrontation within yourself, know that it is for your higher good. Okay, so let's get down to more. I feel like I need more information here, Spirit, for Aries in the month of September. Spirit is saying too, if there's been a hesitation, it's been more of a procrastination than it has been hesitation. Movement forward, another 11. You've got 2 11s here on the table. You could be seeing 11 11 as well. Where do I belong? Where there could be something around moving. You could be traveling, moving around a lot, making plans to move as well. Not everybody's gonna be happy about this, you know. It's also like with this deceit is like, are you being honest with yourself around what it is that you want to do, where you want to go, how you want to live? Like this is kind of like Aries, a restructuring to all the ways in which you live your life on the day-to-day. Okay, there could be talks around beauty coming out sideways. There could be talks around where I really want to say where you're going to live. Whether this is you, I think for some of you, this is you. For others of you, this is long-term planning and strategy for maybe even you and yourself, you and another person. This is trying to find what feels good and feels right, what looks good and feels right, like all the things, and wishing. You're ready for something more than what has been had in the past. Some of you could have, I could say, an ex or family, really, in the grand scheme of this, because I do feel like it's kind of like, I don't want to call it a loner energy, but it's like as you progress forward, yet another 10, by the way, it's as if someone from before, thank you, Spirit, someone from before is like boxing you in or trying to box you in or keep you in a particular space as well. So let's see, let's jump into this movement for Aries. Spirit, I don't know, you're longing for something, you're ready for something. I said boxing you in. Take a look at that card on the split. Collection, mystery, unknown. You may not be sharing as many details with people as some people, I think that you should. Okay, they want to know more, Aries. You know, why are you staying tight-lipped on something? 10 on the clock, by the way. 10:10 on the clock. Let's see, what is this movement? Immortality. That's a card of Scorpio energy. You could have Scorpio placements, doesn't mean that you do. Aries, you're really putting some painful situation from the past to bed. It's almost, people kind of pegged you to be a certain kind of way. So this could be an old stigma around the way you were, the way you once was. Is that even a proper English? I don't know. There's something about the color red here sticks out very importantly. Bear with me for a minute. You could be used to dealing with like third-party situations. And as I tell a lot of people all the time, third party doesn't mean a cheating scenario. Third party is anything that gets between you, any energy that gets between you and another person, making plans or arrangements or whatever that might be for you. You have moved, it's almost like you've kind of forgotten certain things or have chosen to forget certain things, and you are rising from that. Like this is looking out to the future as to what comes after this period of time. But it's also like the way that people view you. Like you could have done that one thing as a kid, right? And like your parents still to this day fucking hold it over your head, and you're like, you know what, that was 30 fucking years ago, why are we having this conversation again? Like, I know what I did, I get it, like, just stop. You know, I've moved on, could you please move on? It gives me that. I will, again, masculine energy, and you know, tarot doesn't know genders per se, but I do feel like, and if I see it, I'm going to call it for what it is, despite what others do in this field. If you're a man, it feels like there's a bitchy, cranky, ferocious energy that kind of wants to consume your soul. Like, that sounds really awful, but it's like they can't let go of something. And this could also be a mother figure in your life as well. Like they can't let go of something. Like, this is who you're supposed to be, Aries. Can you just do that thing, please? And I just kind of feel like, I don't want to say you're aloof, but it's just, you just kind of don't care either. Like you do, but you don't. Like, I almost feel like their words can sting a little bit also. So there's some healing work there for you to work on through that. What is this about for Aries? Two of Wands. You're making different choices for you. There's so much movement here, Aries, with these cards, that progression, the movement card itself, the immortality of moving forward, the Two of Wands, making a choice of where you're going to go, what you're going to do, right? Wands are movement. They are actioning. And, you know, it's kind of like looking, and there's more wands, right? There you go, the Eight of Wands. Where you want to go. Again, forward movement, Aries. Whatever progress you're making, like, if you've been here with me for a while, you know how I feel about it. It's fuck it. Go do you. You know, go do you. Go do what makes you happy. I do feel like somebody could be bringing in some... Spirit's calling it an idea, like, but I don't even think it's an idea that is very much a projection and their perspective, which doesn't make it a truth, though, either, okay? What else for Aries? The Fool. You just... Nine of Pentacles. You're going off into the world to find your happiness. You're going off into this world for yourself to find your abundance. After embroiled battles. You know, and it's like, I feel like there's this part of you, the Moon, that you're not certain. As I was going to say, like, you're not certain, but the Knight of Cups and the Seven of Pentacles is like, I'm willing to plant seeds somewhere. And it's like finding that place where you can plant those seeds and be very grounded in your energy moving forward. This Moon, I want to clarify it. This is going to, I'm surprised, Aries, this is turning into a bit of a longer reading than I anticipated for you. That you're usually not that long. But what is this Moon about? I don't know where I'm going, but I sure know where I've been. What is that, White Snake? Here I go again on my own. I sure don't know where I'm going, but I don't know where I'm going, but I sure know where I've been. The Mother of Pentacles, so the Queen of Pentacles, underlying that, the Temperance energy. I seen 14 on the clock. I don't know if I said that out loud or not. Temperance, healing, water and fire, healing energy. You could be even looking towards somebody to kind of nurture you. Again, this mothering aspect, somebody that's caring, supportive, loving. It's an interesting energy. A lot of at the moon again. Four of Wands. Again, if you've had mommy issues, Aries, okay, let's just call it for what it is. If you've had mommy issues, and there's the Fool. I've got seven cards on the table in regards to tarot. 2 of them being the Fool, 2 of them being the Moon. Those are very specific energies of like, you are discovering, unclouding, right? I don't know how the clarity is yet coming in, but there is this very significant bumping of heads, because you're starting, for some of you who are newer to this, you're going to start to realize like the impact that maybe maternal figures have had on your life and how they've kind of clipped your wings. Some of you could have had a hovering parent, right? Some of you could have had a mother who was overprotective. You could have a mother that was very fucking critical of you. But you're building, 4 of Wands, a reason to celebrate, cause for celebration, good, solid, stable foundations. Spirit, I will not be defined from my past. The Fool is that journey to the 6 of Wands, which is freedom. Freedom, victory, celebration, success. Some of you could be becoming like you could have had a past that was very difficult. Maybe didn't make the greatest choices. Maybe you could have picked a career different than what you ended up doing, blew off college, shit like that. And it's like, if you quit high school, like, I'll be honest with you, like, for some, like, you don't know, I don't tell you guys too much about me here, but I quit high school and my whole family was like, what the fuck are you doing? And I'm like, I'm going to do this. Like, I'm going to be fine no matter what I do. And I'm going to go to college. That was what I wanted to do. So of course everybody had something to say. Well, how are you going to do that? If you quit high school, you have to have a GED, you have to have a diploma, you have to do this, you have to do that, right? But I went back before my class ever even graduated and got my GED, and then went off to college not once but twice. So it's like people tried to put, as I said to you, put you in a box around like, well, if you do this, this is the only thing you're ever going to do, and this is the only thing you're ever going to amount to. Very much about self-worth. And to me, that feels like some of you could be later on in life, or I'm going to say 30s to 50s specifically for some of you, that this is going to resonate for, but going, okay, I learned some lessons. We all fuck up. We all make mistakes. Maybe we all, wish we could do something differently than we did, but we didn't. So we can't change what's happened, but we can begin again. The Fool times 2 here, Aries. You can begin again. And I think that that's kind of like you're gaining some level of momentum that is teaching you that it's okay to wish for more. It's okay to want more for yourself without the past being held over your head. But don't give those cups, that emotion, that investment to people who didn't see your worth before. Give it to people who see you for yourself. Okay, I hope that's making sense. Some of you could have had kids with a feminine energy who maybe put you down or beat you up, or verbally, or whatever form that takes for you. But it feels like you were a fucking whipping post in some ways, not living up to the expectation of what somebody else had for you. And again, fuck their expectations. Let them live their life. You do you. You do you, boo, right? Like always. So there's something very specific to that for you in this. And I think that part of this healing, or this reality check that you're having, it has a lot to do with that, because you're ready to fly free. Okay. This house of belonging, Spirit, for Aries 5, you're in the middle of a very important change throughout the month of September. Basement, I don't like that card. It's an imprisonment, right? And you are breaking free from that. Like I said it before the fucking cards came out. I said it's like you're gaining this wisdom around that, right? There it is. Apple, wisdom, death, sexuality, joy. What you are born with, your talent, born with, features, personality. You're leveling up. You're changing. You could say you're maturing. You're figuring out the things. And people, once they have this painted version of you, Aries, that's just who you are to them. you're this person, you're that person, you're this way, you're that way. You know, they just shine a light on all the things that there's the Fool, it fell, the Fool and the Star. This is healing. This is healing you for the greater good of all things around you. Like, I'm going to tell you, Aries, in the next 3 years, if you're still in the workforce, you're going to be thoroughly surprised how much of a change you make and how you become such a key player in your own life. Or maybe you would sulk or get upset with yourself or get hard on yourself, thinking you had to be very conventional. You're going to see like how much you changed during these 3 years, and furthermore to that, how much better life gets when you step outside of that box that's been created for you. Okay, this basement card, Spirit, the fucking Queen of Cups. I said it's good. It's good stuff. The Wheel of Fortune comes out sideways, the 10 of Cups. Like, Wheel of Fortune, again, positive turning of fated events that are going to lead you to your 10 of Cups, which is complete wish fulfillment. It's happiness. It's emotional happiness. It's all the pieces just kind of coming together. But it's, again, after you learn to tell whoever this feminine energy is in your life with opinions, no. I'm not defined by that. And I feel like there's very much a mother-child, feminine, masculine, whatever presence in this. So place that how it fits in your world. You know, you could be the masculine versus the feminine. You know where you're softer versus where you're not. But Spirit is saying you're learning to grow through this exchange. But you're also learning, more importantly, Spirit is saying, around your boundaries. Spirit, tell me more about this person that Aries is dealing with, please. There's so much wisdom here, Aries. Like, give yourself the credit where it's due. The Moon and the Sun, I've seen that come out the past couple of days, community. You got a new support system coming in that they're not judgy. Now, I will say to you, though, they could be testing you. Have you learned? Will you repeat mistakes? Like, it's almost like Spirit is saying they won't hold your past against you, but they're also kind of tempting you with certain things. I don't know what that means for you, but there's a temptation there. But you are supported, though, moving forward. It's an interesting energy. As you are having, like, it's like if you got good news, like if you have a parent or ever had a parent who was just like, for every good thing you did, they would pick it apart and tell you that there was something wrong with it. Like, well, but what about this? What about that? You could be going out into the world and having these really great experiences and then, kind of mentioning it to them. And Spirit saying, be loud and proud about your accomplishments. But this person that you've dealt with seems to go, well, let me tell you about this instead. Let me pick this apart for you and make you feel uncomfortable with the successes that you're having. They're trying to bring you back down to their level. And I feel like sometimes, Aries, there's a little bit of an internal fight with that where you do almost feel bad. So it's bringing up an old wound for you to heal, for you to figure out, for you to get your foundation underneath you, your steady footing, so that you don't continue to view yourself through the eyes of the way someone else has once viewed you. I hope that's making sense the way I'm explaining that to you. But I do feel like this is a good positive turn of investment for yourself. Some of you also could be putting money away for planning, strategy. I'm hearing home base as well. Reconcile comes out sideways and nothingness. Whomever, whatever the dynamic is, whether it's an old flame, it's an old family member, it's an old friend, whatever this is for you, you're realizing that the relationship of whatever sort it was with this person is becoming meaningless to you. And if it's a parent or a family, you could feel like, well, gee, I feel bad about that because, you know, as they say, like, but that's your mom, that's your dad. Who the fuck cares? Just because they have a bloodline connected to you doesn't mean that they have your best interest at heart either. So it's like you're starting to pay attention to patterns, repeating cycles and themes, and it's just kind of shaking you awake, Aries. You know, it is opening up to you parts of yourself that need to change because you've outgrown them. This is also a person who could, I said, hold things over your head. The daughter, I can't talk today. The daughter of Pentacles, the Ten of Swords. I'm only going to give this to you if. I will only tell you great things about yourself if. Who taught you that love is conditional? Thank you, Spirit. Love is conditional. If you live up to this standard, I will love you. That doesn't work. That's not what genuine love is, whether it's from family or a friend or a lover. Love is not conditional. Love loves all the time, even in the tough moments. It doesn't get up and walk away. It supports you because you're human. Now, you make it a pattern, that's a different story, right? Like, then there's still love there, but there becomes a boundary, a healthy boundary in that. But when I see this all coming out sideways, Aries, do not go back to a past person in love either. Either way, Spirit's telling you, friend, family, lover, whatever it was or is, don't go back to that. Don't lean back into that because it's going to trip you up in another cycle. And then, you know, they could, and as I say that, there's the Six of Cups. Again, past, nostalgic, where something you once held dear to you. And there's the truth, Page of Wands. If you've been with me for a while, I don't like the Page of Wands. It's grimy, it's slimy, it's opportunistic most often to me. They will make life harder on you. And I think there's a truth and a clarity that comes in the month of September for you, that you realize that pattern, you realize those misunderstandings. It's only good when it fits what they need of you versus what you need for yourself. And this person in the past could be very persistent. Have you ever been around somebody who maybe you're having an argument with them and they will follow you room to room to room to room and they just won't shut the fuck up? Like, that's how this feels to me. They don't know when to stop. And it's like, just put the fucking brakes on it, please. We're done here. So Aries, this month of September is very a time of metamorphosis for you, a time for you to change the game. You are becoming the game changer in your own life, and now is the time to do just that. Anything else for Aries in September? Spirit, the story unfolds, Aries. The story unfolds. You could have had a narcissist. You know, they kind of throw that word around pretty loosely these days, but it's someone who's too full of themselves. They know everything, they've seen everything, they've done everything, they've all the things, and spy, right? They've got their eyes on you, telling you what you've done wrong, but have they taken a look in the mirror themselves? Again, a lot of projection happening here, like you're like almost like you're beneath them in some way. You're not beneath them. You could be you could be going somewhere with a fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, vacationing. Like I do, this Fool is like it's a new journey. This Fool, this Fool energy that you're in is leading you to new places. And I said about movement, right? So vacationing, you could be leaving and going somewhere. But I do feel like tied to you, another fire sign, Aries, has taught you a lot of things. They may be taking you with them for Spirit saying the ride. So what else for Aries in the month of September? The third week, a water sign too. A water sign could be coming in. You could have dealt with no, hold on, Spirit. No, they're not the same. The moon and the sun again, Aries. The duality. Someone could be showing you the duality. They're going to challenge you to do more for yourself. Don't say no to doing better for yourself. All right, so just be aware of that. What else about this narcissist? Divorce. Like I'm telling you, it's almost like it could be you've got water and air here and fire. Water, air, and fire. So water signs, emotional. Fire sign, that's you, right? You are action-oriented, go getting out there personality. Air sign, thinking. The person nitpicking at you could have been an air sign. You've got a real unique dynamic, Aries, with particular signs in general. Like, you could almost categorize them in a way based upon their behavior and personality, right? What our sun sign is our personality in a sense. But this is a breakup from those patterns. Again, and then other water and fire signs are really good for you in the month of September. They're going to show you emotionality, and they're also going to show you how to go after what you want. Stay away from air signs, okay? It's interesting because typically fire and air work out really well together, but it's also combustible. So there's that too. Be careful around. There comes the air sign card again. They may be looking to you because they want something from you again, right? Like they don't know who the fuck they are, and you're trying to figure out who you are becoming. Air signs could just be bad for your health right now, to be honest with you. I don't know. It's kind of wild. What is this about this air sign specifically? So that's Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Death. The relationship is over. No second chances, growth and transformations. What is dead is dead. You know, that's, again, it doesn't have to be those placements, but there's something very specific because they're mentally verbalizing the things that you've done wrong. There's a lot of yapping at you, or has been over the years, yapping at you. You're figuring out who you are. They haven't even begun to take a look. You know, don't listen to someone's bullshit who hasn't worked on themselves. What the fuck do they know? They don't. They're going to sit and project and make you feel miserable about yourself. So just know that. All right. All right. Last card. We're going to grab an Akashic card for you. And then we're going to end this. There's, Aries. Resistance. Don't resist these changes. I think sometimes in September you just don't know what to do. And sometimes if you don't know what to do, sitting down and doing nothing is exactly what you need to do, because you're going to, in a moment of quiet and stillness, Spirit's going to speak to you and through you to help you figure it out. And if you don't know what to do, ask your guides, ask God, ask Spirit, whatever you subscribe to, right? Ask for that information and they will bring it to you by ways of symbols, synchronicities, air, I'm going to say, or not air, but by water and fire sign, even that air sign, if that is who you're dealing with in this essence, they're going to say something that's going to trigger you in a way that you're like, wait a minute, we're not, no. Like you're going to understand that differently. Emotional crossroads. You are torn between two strong emotional poles. Confusion arises when heart and mind clash. Pause and let your feelings settle before you choose, and ripple of healing. Small moments of joy and kindness are beginning to ripple through your field. Healing comes not at all at once, but through quiet waves. Receive them. That's that, Aries. I actually love this for you. So if you're going through this kind of back and forth pull right now with this situation or person or just the energy around it, lean into creating the life that you need. Plain and simple. Like what you want, what you wish, what you desire. And if somebody else isn't happy for you when you're living authentically and true to yourself, that's not a you problem, that's a them problem, right? So be aware. All right, I'm leaving it there. I hope you guys have a fantastic September. Again, personal reads are open and available. Info in the description box below the About section of the page. I'm sending you all so much love, healing, happiness, many blessings through the eclipse season as well. Take care, and I'll see you all soon. Bye-bye.